Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up at the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, the nation's chief stands in solidarity with the international community, offering his sympathy to California residents devastated by those raging wildfires. The nation's fly carrier welcoming hundreds of passengers on its inaugural flight to Bimini on its new Boeing 737 aircraft. In sports, the GSSSA hoops continues. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. So glad that you can join us. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders. Those dangerous wildfires in Southern California continuing to garner the world's attention. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, posting on a social media platform that the country is devastated by the destruction caused by the wildfires in Los Angeles. He stated that communities are facing unimaginable challenges as homes and livelihoods are destroyed. The Prime Minister pledged that the Bahamas stands in solidarity with the people of California and the United States during this difficult time. An investigation is underway into a stabbing incident that occurred Saturday, leaving a man hospitalized in serious condition. Police say that sometime around 3 a.m. this morning, a 44-year-old man was stabbed while at a business establishment on West Bay Street. Emergency medical services visited the scene and transported the victim to hospital for medical attention. The circumstances surrounding this incident are unclear. However, investigations continue. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, responding to that viral video that showed a female Bahamas Department of Correctional Services officer physically beating an individual at a barbershop. Speaking on the sidelines of the Progressive Liberal Party's Majority Rule Day event, Monroe says he received the video and it's now a matter for the police.
The video was sent to me. I understand it did not happen in the prison, so she wouldn't have been harming or involved in any altercation with an inmate. I'm made to understand it happened in a barber shop. It would be a matter for the police to investigate. If the police levy any charges, then there are rules that govern persons being interdicted while a case is going on and what happens if they are acquitted. And so it would be a matter for the police. Corrections officers are charged with maintaining order and persons in a correctional facility. The police have rules about officers taking off uniforms when they're off duty. I don't know of any similar rules for corrections officers. Corrections officers' duties are limited to the walls of the Bahamas Department of Corrections.
Well, after rectifying some environmental health challenges, the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection of the Ministry of Environment has reopened Montague Beach to the public. Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Anna Neely Murphy.
The Department of Environmental Planning and Protection received a report of a ruptured sewage main in the area of the park on Montague Beach. Subsequently, the park was closed to the public due to potentially public health issues. The Department of Environmental Planning and Protection to date is sufficiently satisfied that work and remediation efforts to address the sewage main have been conducted in the best interest of public health, and we can reopen the area now to the general public. There remains open a trench that will allow access to the sewage main for the time being. Once that trench is closed, the entire park will be deemed open and ready for use by the general public.
In his national address, the Prime Minister made it clear that solar panels are coming up while prices are going down. With the rising demand for renewable energy solutions across the country, some Nassau Village residents told our West Collex Forbes about living the green life.
In a pioneering move to conserve energy and to improve safety, the Member of Parliament for Nassau Village and the constituents are still boasting on their solar streetlights. The initiative aims to address safety concerns and the pushing for going green for the residents in the area who have lived without streetlights for years.
Well, the reality is that as a small island developing state, we continue to push green energy. We continue to push sustainability and also awareness and consciousness. So to reduce our own carbon footprint in the constituency of Nassau Village, we decided to also provide green energy using technology, and that is where we came up with the solar streetlights.
Cocoa Plum residents Patricia and Willis Bethel, who have lived on the street for 55 years, welcomes the change.
We haven't, like I said, we haven't had any from we were here since 1970. We were some of the earlier persons here. There were only about 2 or 3 houses when we came.
Came here when coming back, it's dark. And I couldn't figure out what happened. Lights were on. Hey, been here a long time, now what happened?
What's next to be reformed, upgraded, and modernized?
I just recently finished the state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind, multi-purpose community center in Nassau Village, which is the largest government building on the southern side of the island. So what I would hope is to actually have that be completely solarized as well. It's a testament to what we say when we say we're going green. It's a testament to our climate awareness and climate consciousness, and it's something that I think each constituency should take into consideration and go forward with. Nassau Village is doing it. We hope to see you all do it as well.
As the solar lights continues to illuminate the streets of the constituency of Nassau Village, it is clear that a small but significant step is helping to bring brighter days to both the community and the environment. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Still to come, an historic feat for Bahamas Air in Bimini. The details straight ahead. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. There's more after this.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
In the Bahamas, we're connected by more than just our islands. Now we're connected by Sand Dollar. It moves with you across many digital wallets. It doesn't matter if you use Bank of the Bahamas, Cash and Go, Island Pay, Canoe, Mobile Assist, MoneyMax, Suncash, or Omni. Sand Dollar, one currency and many wallets. It's inclusive, convenient, secure, and uniquely Bahamian. Embrace the future. Available for everyone on all Bahamian digital wallet apps.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Bimini, the gateway to the Bahamas, experiencing hundreds of visitors this holiday weekend as Bahamas Air welcomes nearly 130 passengers to the island on its Majority Rule Day flight. The trip, made possible by the airline's new Boeing 737 aircraft, is a first of its kind, acting as the official carrier for attendees of the One Foxy Weekend, which celebrates the achievements of businessman Adrian Fox, drawing in thousands of visitors to the island. According to a statement from the airline, the arrival of the Boeing 737 in Bimini is more than just an aviation achievement. It signifies Bahamas Air's commitment to enhancing airlift capacity and bolstering the economic and tourism potential of the island. Associate Professor of History at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Christopher Curry, believes the pivotal events leading up to Majority Rule are lessons that should be permanently etched in the Bahamian landscape and given greater appreciation by all Bahamians.
All of our national holidays, I think Majority Rule is still the one that is least understood. That and probably National Heroes Day in October. And I think it's least understood because there's a segment of our population who doesn't appreciate the struggle and how real it was for our forebears, those who fought for Majority Rule. Because we can't place our children, and including my own, in a situation where they could see the rampant racism, where they could see that basically you had a closed society, where basic things like the freedom of movement, the freedom to speak, the freedom to pursue economic enterprises without fear of persecution or victimization, they don't see that, right? Yes, we have our challenges today, but the 50s and 60s in the Bahamas was a closed society based on racial prejudice.
Now, while majority rule broke the elite oligarchy, it also led to infrastructural developments throughout the Family Islands and a massive overhaul of the country's educational system. Dr. Curry believes these lessons are important to remember. He's now making this appeal.
We can't rest on our laurels. We can't think that the revolution, the quiet revolution that Doris Johnson spoke about, is not one that has ended. Each generation has to live out the mandates of majority rule and must continue to fight for freedom and fight for rights and fight for equal opportunities. And perhaps that's the arena that I see us fighting for now, is the gender area. We still have an imbalance in the House of Assembly configuration. With the number of female MPs, for example, versus the male MPs. So there's still some struggles, some fights that need to be contested and need to be continued.
Well, on the 58th anniversary of Majority Rule Day, Chair of the National Scholarship Advisory Committee, Robin Lyons, reflecting on the importance of equality and access to education for all Bahamians. Prior to the 1967 landmark, education for the black majority of the country was considered a privilege. Access to education was severely limited to those considered part of the ruling oligarchy. The significance of majority rule, according to Lyons, is the opportunity to education possibilities for all Bahamians who are willing to seek them out.
When Sir Lyndon and our forefathers came into power, that was the goal. How do we educate Bahamians to lead the Bahamas? Because before then, part of our oppression was our ignorance. Part of our oppression was our uneducation. When you educate a person, you liberate them. And so with this level of liberation that we see, what we have to do is to make sure that those opportunities are available for the new generation of educated persons coming into the workforce.
With over 600 applicants in the government scholarship program last year, Lyons says this year's scholarship program will provide multiple opportunities for young Bahamians.
There is a very large exodus of students that are leaving the country to study in places like Europe, America, and Canada, but they're not coming back home. So if we're advancing education, we also have to advance coming home and making sure that you sow into this soil. And so it's multifaceted for us. We're not just looking at students going to school, but we're looking at them coming back. We're looking at jobs being available for them. And we're also looking at expanding the creativity of the job model.
With more than 40 churches spread throughout the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, and thousands of devout members, the Bahamas Turks and Caicos Islands Conference of the Methodist Church prepares for a new season. Felicity Double has more.
The 213th annual session of the Bahamas Turks and Caicos Islands Conference of the Methodist Church in the Caribbean and Americas begins on January 12th and ends on January 19th, with a full week of activities planned as the conference welcomes local and international delegates. Presiding Bishop Theophilus Roll shares a glimpse into a conference with thousands of members and more than 42 churches still going strong.
This conference is a very, very important conference for us. We have been led by some of the great men of Methodism in the Bahamas Turks and Caicos Islands Conference for many years. In my tenure, in these years that I've served, we have lost some of those great men like Reverend Dr. J. Emmett Ware, who once served as the past chairman of our conference. Reverend Dr. Livingston Malcolm, who once served as a past chairman of our conference, both of whom are now deceased. And then the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Huggins, who at this particular time is very ill. And we're keeping him in our prayers as well.
This will be Bishop Roll's final conference. A new bishop will be elected, bringing his 9-year tenure to a close.
For me personally, when I took over, I was hoping that we could bring more credibility to our conference as a church. And I believe that I have done that in a tremendous way, not just at home, but also abroad as well, in regards to our partnerships with many of our overseas partners, Methodist and other denominations as well. I also wanted to bring, because of my background in being someone who believes in the discipline of a very strong spiritual emphasis. I wanted to bring a higher level of spirituality to our church. And I believe through our efforts of prayer and fasting, every year I engage the church in a period of fasting to begin our church year in September. I've seen that grown tremendously as well.
Their overarching theme resonates with us all. The best of all is God is with us. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Well, stay with us. Sports is up next.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Strike and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Everyone hates a dead car battery. Why not get a battery that lasts and has a 12-month warranty and is only $64.50? Intercontinental batteries are made with German technology, compatible with Japanese, US, and European vehicles, and adapts to warm climates.
All right, good to go.
These batteries are high quality, affordable, innovative, and only available at AID. Visit us online or WhatsApp us at 427-0026. AID, all you really need and more.
When it comes to the big things, when it comes to envisioning the future we'd like to build, I'd like to believe we can agree. We want a free, fair, and prosperous country in which every citizen is treated with dignity and blessed with opportunity and security.
Register today at tclevents.com.
Welcome to your Saturday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Nold, topping sports. The New York Yankees reaching deals with 4 of their 5 arbitration-eligible players, including Bahamian infielder Jazz Chisholm Jr., who would agree to a $5.85 million deal that represents a second-year arbitration bump for Chisholm, who turns 27 in February and earned $2.6 last year, which he split between the Marlins and the Yankees. Chisholm was acquired from the Marlins in late July and moved to third base. He would bat .273 on the year with 7 doubles, 11 homers, 23 RBIs, and 18 steals in 46 games for the Yanks. USSA basketball news from the D.W. Davis Gymnasium in senior action. First up in girls, C.R. Walker, they would edge past C.V. Bethel 22-21. Shania Monroe, the high point scorer there with 8.
It was very important. We had to come out with determination to win this game, to prove our point as C.R. Walker.
And how were you able to maintain focus throughout the entire game?
I had to remember what all we practiced, what my main goal was coming out to this game. And, for my supporters, I thank them all.
I feel very excited because, we work hard and this was our goal to beat TV Bethel, who we lost to in the championship last year. So.
And in boys, it would be a rout in this one as C.R. Walker. They would make short work of the Stevie Bethel Stingrays 68-42. Mikel Feast almost outscoring the Stingrays by himself, dropping 33 in the win.
I feel okay, but I don't feel great because we didn't even practice throughout the holiday because the guys wasn't showing up to practice. So I shined them. We'll practice after the first game. You understand? Because these days, kids are not dedicated. Their parents aren't even dedicated because they're not pushing them out to come to practice. But at the end of the rainbow, they want to see their kid get a scholarship.
Feel great. Come out, we play defense. I was the leader of the team, so I got to do my job.
And how are you able to maintain that focus for the rest of your team?
Yes, it's easy, basically. like Coach always say, being no gain.
In the golf news, it was formerly known as the Great Exuma Classic, but the Corn Ferry Tour sponsored event now has a new name. The Bahamas Golf Classic set to tee off from the one and only Ocean Club tomorrow. Their official opening ceremony was held on Thursday. Organizer, Brooks Downing.
And his vision to showcase the family islands, the true Bahamas, as he called them back in the day. And so we've been here ever since, and it was arm in arm with the PGA Tour, who have become also our great teammates. It's unlike anything else we do. We run a lot of college basketball, other sporting events, but the PGA Tour, we have an operator with us step by step, and it's really a joy to work with.
And next week, all residents of Bain and Grantstown are urged to come out and participate in a 5K fun run walk starting at the Southern Recreation Grounds in honor of the constituency's former Member of Parliament, Dr. Bernard Nottage. The area's current MP, Wade Watson, tells us more.
This community with honor, and he gave all he had for this community. And one thing I would like to say, I'd like to encourage the constituents of Bains and Grantstown, especially those who we directly assisted, to come out and show their love and appreciation for Dr. Nottage. His wife will be here, and she know them, and I'd like for them to come and show their support to Dr. Nottage and Mrs. Nottage.
And that's Look at Your Sports on this Saturday. A check on weather when we return.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
The United States of America just voted in its 47th president, Donald J. Trump, and we're packing our bags and heading to Washington, D.C. to be there on Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2025. The stage is set, and here's your opportunity to be a part of this historic journey when you sign up for one of our affordable advertising packages. Your business will be included in our live on-location news stories in the National Report and Access Now. And that's not all. The Rundown with Clint Watson will also air live from Washington, D.C. Thought we were done? Not yet. Our dynamic social media teams will be in D.C. as well, giving you live, interactive, up-to-the-minute updates as it all unfolds. Don't delay. Call our sales department now at 502-3800 and reserve your exclusive D.C. package. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you all set? Well, let's hop on that flight. You know we always have you covered, because only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Good to glow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Department of Agriculture kicks off 2025 in Saudi Arabia, where officials travel to attend the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification Conference of the Parties 16th Session, or COP16.
During this time, we covered topics such as desertification, land degradation, and drought, which affect so many countries around the world, including the Bahamas. I know many people wondered what was agriculture's role at this conference. We were actually invited by the Ministry of the Environment, which was led by Minister the Honorable Vaughan Miller, along with other members of his ministry. And agriculture is actually a part of it in the sense that of the 60% of land degradation caused by humans, 80% of that is caused by agricultural practices and activities.
That's Director of the Department of Agriculture, Dion Gibson, who added that multiple agricultural entities and individuals were present and participated in a number of discussions. One topic that hits close to home being drought, as some family islands like Cat Island experience long periods without rain, which ultimately affect its agricultural sector.
Drought is a topic that we all experience because due to our practices where for development we tend to clear-cut land, people don't realize that forested areas actually harbor or harness more rain because a lot of evaporation is done through evapotranspiration from tree leaves, which then encourages more rainfall. And one of the items that I actually presented on was the topic of using agroforestry or silvopasture to reverse the effects of drought and create forested areas for food production.
So how soon can we see projects like this taking place?
The Department of Agriculture will very soon be launching a agroforestry project here in New Providence. So we would do a prototype, a pilot site first, and then look into introducing it to islands such as Cat Island, Long Island, Auckland, and Inagua, southern islands, which do experience a lot more drought than we do in the northern islands, being much closer to the equator. So a date may not be available just yet, but definitely within this calendar year, we'll be looking into launching some pilot sites.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. We have partly cloudy skies. Temperature has warmed up to 79 degrees. The relative humidity 64%, but that will change later on as that frontal system gets a little closer, so we'll see an uptick in the humidity. The winds out of the southwest at 11 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,014.4 millibars. That's 29.95 inches. And your temperatures around the islands. Marshall, Abaco at 72. Great Oak Key 70 degrees. 70 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands a little warmer at 76. Alistown, Bimini 69, 77 in Harbor Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera. Fresh Creek, Central Andros 79, 81 degrees in Camp Space at Andros and also in Black Point, Exuma. Artistown, Cat Island, San Salvador and Rumkey 78. Georgetown, Exuma 1 degree up at 79 degrees. 80s in Ragged Island, Clarendon, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana 77, Ackland 77, Matthewtown, Inagua 76, and the Turks and Caicos Island round up our temperature profile at 77 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight in the northwestern parts of our country. Those winds, they're going to become northwest to north once that frontal system goes through. Speeds at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now your low tide, that will take place at 11:49 tonight. And for the central and southeastern islands, the winds are going to be southwest, 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Sunday, for all areas, light and variable winds with flat sea conditions. High tide will occur at 7 or 8 in the morning with the low tide at 1:39 in the afternoon. And our satellite picture is showing the leading edge of that front smack across Grand Bahama, and they could perhaps get some showers and even an isolated thunderstorms as that frontal boundary pushes through. And then we will see an increase in clouds as the front gets a little closer to the capital later on tonight. Forecast, increasing clouds, 70 degrees for your low temperature tomorrow. We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions. The high temperature is 76 degrees, and the extended weather forecast for the next 7 days. We'll still have some sunshine in our forecast, but more clouds than sun, and that will continue right through the weekend into the early part of next week. When a second front will come through on Tuesday, so we'll see temperatures just tick up just a bit and then fall back into the 60s as we head into Wednesday. Then Thursday, a reinforcing front comes through again, so we'll see those temperatures remaining in the 60s. Desmond.
Well, that ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
World One. I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The ZNS Network presents the Alive 2024 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all of you tuning into our broadcast from near and far. This is obviously going to be the greatest show on the earth, the 2024 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. We're going to toss it down and see what they do with what they promise. Absolutely.